This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Hey, join me tonight at Willie's on the Water in Big Lake for Coors Light Hockey Night. You can drop by starting at 6 p.m. to catch Minnesota take on New York. Enjoy ice-cold Coors Light and play trivia for your chance to win great prizes, including sweet tickets to a game in January. Get the full details now at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 pass, Common Man program. I'm Common. He's Cheneby. Hour number 2 begins, as always, with 5, 3, 4.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1. It's time now for the lowdown in Dinkytown.
The Gophers football team beat number 25 Nebraska 24-6 Friday night at Huntington Bank Stadium. Darius Taylor gained 148 yards on 24 carries. The Gophers defense sacked Dylan Raiola 9 times for a total of 63 yards. Colin, what sticks out to you from Minnesota's upset win over number 25 Nebraska?
Well, here's what I'll tell you. A couple of 13-14 things. First of all, do you think it was that Nebraska was distracted about what's Rule's first name?
Matt Rule.
Matt Rule rumors going to Penn State because when they first were brought up, he didn't emphatically say, I'm never leaving Nebraska. I don't even know what he said. But do you think the kids were distracted, Cheneby, thinking their coach may leave? I've always sort of rolled my eyes, shrugged my shoulders, and shook my head when you talk about distractions. Though in that case, it would be impressionable 18, 19, 20-year-old kids wondering if their head coach was about to bolt for Penn State. I think the Gophers just I was surprised. Remember when Dew said the Gophers are making a lot of first downs? I'm really surprised all those years ago. I was surprised they went. I thought Nebraska would win the game. Nebraska was averaging, I think, 41 points a game. They had a really big win just the week before. And I know the Gophers beat Purdue, but they gave up like how many yards in the ground did they give up? Like 248? It was, and only had like 48 of their own. It was astonishing how badly they were outplayed in that game. That 9 sacks was think about it, the Gophers have been playing college football since the late 1800s. That was of course they didn't have the sack as a statistic back then, but that's the most sacks in school history, 9 in a game. A team that was averaging, if I saw that stat right, 41 points a game, they scored 6 points. I mean, that was just a complete and total beatdown.
Yeah.
And it was a complete game by the Gophers, and it was pretty impressive. I would never,
other than playing cupcakes, I haven't seen us play a Big Ten team like that where we're dominating the line of scrimmage, like where we're on both sides.
Never. I've never seen it. I don't ever recall it happening. So I don't know. I don't know what it means. Again, is I know they beat Purdue the week before, but they did so. I think it was one of those smoke and mirrors wins, and to play like they did. I mean, again, maybe Nebraska's a little overrated. I don't know, but that's you can't. I don't have any discouraged. Believe it or not, I don't have any discouraging words to say about the Gopher football. They completely outclassed Nebraska. Good for them. I don't know what's going to lead to anything.
Question number 2.
Time now for an in-depth look at the state of hockey.
The Wild have lost 4 of 5 after falling to the Flyers 2-1 in overtime Saturday night in Philadelphia. Vladimir Tarasenko scored the lone goal for a Wild team that recorded just 16 shots on goal. The Wild are now 2-3-1 with a game at Madison Square Garden tonight. Common, what is going wrong with your Minnesota Wild.
I would turn that back on you. I'll defer to you. I was so excited after game one, a 5-0 whitewashing on pace to go 82-0, blah, blah, blah. And it just, I don't know. You tell me. You're the Wild guy.
Well, I brought up the Philly game here the night before in the nation's capital against the Capitals. That was awful. I mean, the team did not give a professional performance in that one. Couldn't even sniff Washington's end of the ice. And then against Philadelphia, better, but from what you were comparing it to the night before, they're still just not creating enough offensively 5-on-5, and it's now coming down to if Kaprizov and Boldy don't blow up for you, then you're in trouble. They cannot get offense anymore. And even tonight now, Marco Rossi is not going to play tonight. They're already without Zuccarello. They're already without Nico Sturm. The lineup they are putting at the forward position tonight, after Kaprizov, Boldy, and Eriksson Ek, I mean, it's almost like an AHL team. So it's you don't want to be hitting the panic button 6 games in, but it's been a rough little stretch here, and that can get out of hand in a hurry if they don't put a stop to it tonight in New York. And the other part of this, too, is goaltending. Wallstedt has looked better. Wallstedt has played 2 games. He had the win against the Kings, against Philadelphia. Now, the goal he gave up, he probably should have had. He shouldn't have let it be a rebound to get behind the net to begin with before they kicked it back off of him. But he gave up 1 goal. He's played 2 games. He's played really well. He has outplayed Gustafsson. So far, they still seem to be going, Gustafsson's going to be our A and Wallstedt's going to be our B. But to me, we're a couple games away from that changing where you need to start thinking, well, maybe we should start playing Wallstedt a little bit more.
Yeah. What a difference a year makes. This time last year, we were the toast of the league, right?
We hadn't lost a game in regulation yet at this time last year.
And now here we are.
And also, we went from, 52, 53 shots on goal against Columbus to now we can't get the puck on net. And that was my fear when everyone was having the 5-on-5 concerns after 4 games. I'm like, well, guys, come on. Like, they've been getting chances. They're scoring on the power play. But now I feel like the players have gotten that 5-on-5 talk into their own head, because now I feel like they're playing differently. Where, like, Matt Boldy, as good as he was early on the last couple games, he's a turnover machine. He's forcing passes where they should be forced, right? I feel like they got away with the way they were playing previously just because they hadn't been scoring in those situations. And then you start trying to get outside of your game, and then it just completely collapses. And I think that's kind of where we're at now. Now, that can change in one game. That can change in one night. But, yeah, the lineup they're throwing out there tonight is quite concerning.
Yeah.
Question number 3.
That being said, come watch the Wild game with me tonight at Willie's on the Lake in Big Lake.
What's
from
the
6 to 8 p.m.
What's the name of the place again?
It's Willie's on the Lake. It's Coors Light Hockey Night, 6 to 8 p.m. We play hockey trivia. You have a chance to win sweet tickets to see the Wild against the Jets in November in a suite.
Who do we play tonight?
We're at Madison Square Garden tonight. We got the New York Rangers.
They any good?
I mean, they're off to a pretty mediocre start as well, but they've been offensively a little bit better.
All right, very good.
Programming Predicament.
Yeah, as I just mentioned, the Wild are in at Madison Square Garden tonight to take on the New York Rangers. That game's at 6 p.m. You can watch it on FanDuel Sports Network or listen to it right here on the Fan. We have a Game 7 in the ALCS with the Toronto Blue Jays hosting the Seattle Mariners. That game will be on Fox. And then we have a Monday night doubleheader. The Lions host the Buccaneers at 6 p.m. on ABC and ESPN. And the Seahawks host the Texans at 9 p.m. on ESPN. Common, what are you going to do about tonight's
Programming Predicament?
Let me think about it just for once. No. I'll watch Kitties. I'm diehard. Should be an entertaining game, too.
Sure.
I mean, it should be. I always like to preface it by saying should be. We never know. There are no guarantees. But last week's NFL power rankings, I think Tampa Bay was ranked number 1, and Lions were number 2. So you have certainly have
in your mirror.
certainly have two of the better teams in the National Football League, at least record-wise and with reputation, playing tonight, so it should be fun to watch. I'm just glad it's the early one. That 9 o'clock starts a little late.
Yeah, the 6 is nice.
6 is really nice.
Yeah.
Time to get home, do a little fall cleanup, and then watch a ball.
No desire to watch a Game 7 to go to the World Series tonight?
No, I don't. I think I've kind of lost my love or lust for baseball that I once had when I was a kid. It used to be my favorite sport, but it just doesn't. Once the Fall Classic starts, we'll see how the first few games go. The way the Dodgers are playing, I mean, they spanked the Brewers. And if you'll remember, the Brewers won. The two teams had 2 series during the regular season. Brewers were 6-0. Did the Brewers even get to double-digit runs in any of the 4? The 4 games combined. I don't think.
Well, the first 3, I think they had 3 runs total.
Yeah, so they didn't even get to double-digit runs in 4 games combined. They were completely dominated by a starting pitching staff that is spot on right now. So I would find it hard to believe, whether it's Toronto or Seattle, that if the Dodgers continue to play like they have. And it really started in postseason play is when they almost flipped the switch. They've been just dominant. So yeah, I don't think the World Series is going to be much of a series either, to be honest with you.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 Questions. Well, actually 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
We'll take a look at a few text messages from our Brad, Sean, Brian, KFAN text line. They all want to see McCarthy, Teneby. Everybody. They want him. They've had enough of Wentz. They want to see McCarthy. We'll take a look at, I'll read a few of those. When we come back, the Common Man program here on The Fan.
The Fan and 2 Men on a Junk Truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our National Cash Contest. Enter the keyword bank at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is bank. Enter now at KFAN.com. KFAN welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra. For 2 amazing
Feels like the first time.
For 2 amazing shows at Target Center on December 28th at 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m.
I want to know what love is.
Tickets are on sale now.
Hot-blooded. Check it and see.
Get complete show details, including a link to buy tickets at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Calendar. See Foreigner along with Electric Light Orchestra and Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Couple 13-14 pass, Common Man.
ELO can't make it. They're preparing for the next halftime show.
Yes. Going to be not only going to be ELO, but it's also going to be Rod Stewart, also 80-year-old Rod Stewart. Teneby, the fans have spoken here at booth at the Brad, Sean, Brian KFAN text line. This one says, I suspect KOC will play JJ Thursday for this reason. Since Wentz stunk so bad on Sunday, it's unlikely that JJ will look worse. At this point, half our strategy is to make JJ believe he's ready and worthy. That's insane. They're not going to play. There's no way they're going to play McCarthy on a short week. They've already said he's got the bad ankle. Here's what I think is going on, Teneby. I think you're right. I think it's that soft injury. They don't want to play him unless he is absolutely 100%, because they saw. Did everybody else not see what you and I saw? It was some of the worst quarterback play I've ever seen for 7 of the 8 quarters he played in. He's 22 years old. He's got a lot to learn. Now, you can say, well, then we got to get him in there and see what we've got. Do people not understand that teams don't look at it that way? It's actually getting frustrating talking to people that don't understand. The team doesn't look at it like they're not thinking the season's over. They look at the landscape in the league and say, we can beat any of these teams.
They also see him at practice every day.
Correct.
And he's been in the organization for 2 years now. Like, they have an idea of what he can do. And also, I'm not saying there's no one way to develop a quarterback, but there have been teams, a.k.a. the team that's just direct east of us, that's let quarterbacks sit for 2-3 years, and they've been just fine when they come in. It's not the fans want to know what we got, but the coaches know what they've got. if that makes sense. You stop looking at it from a fan perspective, look at it from a coach perspective. I don't think KOC is going, got no idea what we got with J.J. McCarthy if he goes out and plays. By the way, I saw this, Bring Me the News posted this based off of Adam Schefter, appeared on the Pat McAfee show today.
Okay.
Here's what Schefter said. Quote, my understanding is with Carson Wentz and J.J., the Vikings play a short week this week. They have the Chargers this week. I would expect that we get Carson Wentz on Thursday night. I was told there's a chance that J.J. McCarthy would be ready for the week after at Detroit. He says, again, I think if Carson Wentz comes back and plays well and they win the game Thursday night, maybe that buys J.J. another week. If not, then I think J.J. could be back as soon as that week at Detroit.
Exactly what we've been saying all along. It's one of the few things I agree with the head coach on. I didn't think Wentz was awful yesterday either. I mean, he wasn't great.
He had some awful moments. But they were moving the ball at will.
Yes. Well, in that last drive,
they punted once.
He was under siege. How about the time Nolman's open? He scrambles for first downs in that one drive that ended up, we ended up in a figgy because of the Hawkinson play. Here's one that says, we do not want JJ on the field. He's a soap opera. He's injury prone, overhyped, inconsistent. If you're going to put anybody on the field, put Max there. He's the new franchise quarterback. I think that's the
Oh my gosh, can you above average at that?
Well, you know what, Common? They needed to put Brosmer out there so we know what we got.
Well,
right? We got to know what we got with Max Brosmer.
No, somebody actually said that. They let me find it for you.
I thought after the second Wentz interception that there was a chance Max Brosmer, I thought Carson Wentz was one more bad drive or one more interception away from Brosmer starting to come out the second half.
Viking fans want to see McCarthy because they want to see what he can do. If J.J. McCarthy starts and is not ready and loses, the fans will be calling for Max. Then if Max can't do it, they'll want Wentz back in. It's a situation that goes around and around, and no one's going to be happy unless the quarterback wins games. Here's another. Wentz missed 4 TDs yesterday. The great sideline catch by Addison would have been a TD if the throw wasn't awful. Bad miss on the Addison out left. Ham missed wide open. The left flat gets intentional ground instead. The throw to Hawkinson was a miss. The two awful INTs. If that's McCarthy, we're begging for him to get benched.
I think there's people that are begging for Wentz to get benched.
They are.
No, he had bad moments yesterday. There's no doubt about that.
I don't like the phrase, got to see what we've got in that kid. We might not know anything for a couple of years. JJ has much less experience than any of those quarterbacks in his class in round one. Here's another. The push for the kid is because 5 of the 6 quarterbacks that he was drafted with are playing and improving. Here's one. I like this one. Common was right all along. If we signed Rodgers, we would be undefeated, and young JJ would be healthy and learning more and more every day. If we had Sam Darnold, if we had Danny Dimes or Aaron Rodgers, we would be better than 3-3. I do believe that.
I agree.
I don't think we'd be. I'm not saying we'd be undefeated, but any of those guys,
I think we win yesterday.
We would have won yesterday. I think we would probably be 4-2 at worst, maybe better. I don't know.
Probably winning. Yeah, the Atlanta-Pittsburgh games could have been winnable either way.
Absolutely. Why are we sitting here pretending Wentz was anything but awful yesterday? He was horrific. Any sort of competence in the QB position yesterday, we win. Wentz cost us 3-4 TDs in the red zone and stopped numerous drives, intentional grounding, backwards out of bounds pass, taking dumb sacks. I'm not entirely sure how Viking fans consider and think Wentz gives us a better shot to win than J.J. McCarthy does. Did you see J.J. McCarthy in the 7 of the 8 quarters he played?
I was going to say, Wentz, like I've mentioned now 4 times, Wentz had bad moments yesterday. He definitely had some awful plays.
He was part of the reason they were still in the game. Other
than one quarter of J.J. McCarthy, we were as 3-and-out city. It was 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out. So J.J. didn't even have opportunities to even have even worse throws because he wasn't on the field enough.
That was correct.
We didn't have any offensive planes. We weren't moving the chains. Wentz is moving the chains. Is he making a bunch of mistakes? He did yesterday, yes.
Everyone said start Wentz because he is a vet with experience. Boy, did he make a bunch of rookie mistakes. Unacceptable. He should be pulled after the second interception. Brogsmer should have been put in so we could see what we have.
I always love that one.
Our defense was beat by a great QB. Our offense beat themselves. I think the defense had as much to do with that. If you want to throw anybody out there, the Rodgers guy got burned twice. Badly. And, is it all on him? Well, I don't know. Is the call to have him go one-on-one over there on that side? I don't know. Maybe they trust him that much. He was signed with a lot of fanfare. Played for the Eagles last year. There's a reason Wentz was available when he was.
Yeah.
But I still think Wentz is. We're at the point where, as we've said, if I think what Schefter said is probably accurate. Wentz starts this week.
Yep.
If they lose and McCarthy
it's an audition for him.
Yeah, and if McCarthy is 100%, he will start against Detroit, and that's the way it probably should go down. We'll take a break, come back with more here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
Home Services has your shot at 4 tickets to see Green Bay take on the Purple in early January, plus $500 in game day cash. Register for your chance to win today on the KFAN contest page. That's KFAN.com/furnace to enter today.
13-14 pass, Common Man program. Vikings lose at home yesterday to the defending world champion Philadelphia Eagles. The hated Philadelphia Eagles. Final 28-22. Vikings go 1 for 6 in the red zone. I guess if you're looking for bright spots, the Reichard kid, he never misses. The only time he missed was when it hit one of those cables, those camera cables. We think it did. Anyways, I'm convinced it did. I don't think there's any chance. And he also kicked was that a franchise record 59-yarder, or do I have that wrong? Maybe it was in the Green Bay game. I think the Green Bay game had a 59-yard franchise field goal.
Well, yesterday was a 59 one.
Right, but I think Green Bay had a 50. What I'm asking is, was the 59-yarder franchise record for the Vikings? I don't think it was. I think I got confused with maybe it was. I don't know. I think Green Bay did have a franchise record 59-yarder in their win yesterday against the Cards, but I could be wrong. Mark Craig writes, NFL for the Fish Wrap Factory on the west side, and every Monday he has 5 extra points, and then he picks up 5 things that stick out to him as far as the game goes. And number one, it's obvious that going into the game, Saquon Barkley is considered the best running back in pro football. Had over 2,000 yards last year. He's the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Year. He's not had a good start to the season, whether it's he's got nothing left, whether it's teams are really focusing on stopping Saquon Barkley this year, whether they're not opening as many holes, maybe it's matchups.
A new play caller.
Whatever the case may be, Barkley has not had the kind of season to this point as he did last year. Yesterday, Craig points out that Barkley gained only 20 yards on his final 13 carries and 44 overall with an average of 2.0 per yard. You would think if you hold him to those kinds of numbers, you have a pretty good chance to win the ball game. However, as Mark points out, and we talked about it as well, Hurts posted a perfect passer rating of 158.3. That's perfect. That means he played the position to perfection. That's the first time Jalen Hurts has done that in his career. He threw 5 balls, 20 or more yards downfield, completing all 5 for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let me say this to the Wentz haters. Wentz wasn't on the field to defend those passes. He wasn't on the field. If you have a professional secondary or a pass rush that is able to, do you think we could prevent one of those? Just one of them? Particularly that last one when it was 3rd and 9, game is still on the line, $1:45 to go. We come up with a stop there. They've got to give us the ball. There's no tush push on 4th and 9. They've got to give us the ball back, and then we have an opportunity. Now, Wentz may have thrown a pick. He may have got an intentional grounding. He may have thrown it out of the reach of a wide receiver or tight end in the end zone. We would have lost the game anyway. But the defense didn't do the Vikings any favors in any way, shape, or form yesterday when it came to defending the
Well, it seemed
pass.
like every time we got close and we got within a score, it seemed like our defense would let us down.
Exactly. Here's a point number 2 from Craig. O'Connell got greedy on the first red zone trip. Here's what he writes. O'Connell called 16 passes and 12 runs on first down. That's not a bad balance, considering he doesn't have a strong running game, and the Eagles' strength is their defensive tackles. One call he'd like to have back is the first of 21 snaps the team ran, going 1 for 6 in the red zone. KO had thrown on back-to-back first downs and had just run for a first down to the Eagles' 19. He got impatient, called for a pass into the end zone, Wentz threw high, wild, and incomplete. Then he skipped a swing pass off the turf and watch as Blake Brandel. Is it Brandel or Brandel? Do we know the pronunciation?
Granlund?
Yeah. 3rd and 10 snap sailed 22 yards the wrong way. O'Connell's commitment to the run in the second half, 8 runs for 33 yards and a first down, 8 passes for 42 yards and 2 first downs, was a key component in the Vikings moving the ball better and scoring their only red zone touchdown on a direct snap to Jordan Mason. So, and he doesn't have much of a running game. I mean, Aaron Jones is out, right? He missed another game. Is that correct?
It sounds like his injury window, I think, opens up this week.
Okay.
Where he's got like that window to come back.
And is it Jordan Mason? Is that his first name?
Yes.
He's a nice back. I like him, but he's not elite. He's a good running back.
I got criticized for saying that before the season, by the way.
You did.
He's a nice running back, but
he is a nice running back.
Teams don't change the way they game plan based off of him.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right. So,
what drive was it too where they were shockingly in the red zone? Were they like the 6-yard line? They had like a 2nd and 1, and they threw the ball on 3 consecutive attempts.
Yes.
And one of them was the old, hey, we know we're going to go for it on 4th down, so we can still throw for it on 3rd down. With the problem is that thinking is then, well, if you get a holding penalty, now you've now got pushed back and you don't have those 2 plays anymore to work with. So they didn't even run the ball in any of those opportunities.
What did you make of? Can you explain to me what Beeflo was trying to do on the tush push? Did he have like a defensive lineman line on the
horizontal?
Ground? Yeah, horizontal. Did it work? I don't think it did it?
Well, Philadelphia got the first down, but it seems like they didn't get as much of a push on the tush push that maybe they're accustomed to.
Yeah.
And apparently that wasn't the first time that had been done before. I think they said they kind of stole it from Kansas City done it.
Yeah, I think Kansas City tried it. Was that in the big game they tried that? I think maybe.
Well, they played them earlier this year, too.
It was earlier this year that they tried that.
But also on that tush push, guess what? The left guard started before the ball was snapped again because they cheat on all of them.
Yeah. Ivan Pace got benched. Remember how much we loved him, undrafted free agent, first year? He was so good. Is this his 3rd year? I think this is his
probably
third.
right.
I think it's his 3rd. His first 2 years, he's pretty good. He hasn't. Well,
he was always just a run stopper. That was his strength, and that has not been a strength for him this year. So if your strength is to stop the run and your team is not stopping the run, once you get healthy, you're expendable. And Eric Wilson, he's had some moments this year, so he deserves more playing time. I agree with the coaching staff on that one.
Mark in Red Wing, courtesy of the Bradshaw and Bryant. KFAN text line says it was a 61-yard field goal for Green Bay's franchise record. That was 61. That was another game. The Cards. It's anybody's game right to the very, very end. And I like the Jordan Love kid. I think he's really good. I think he's even going to get better and better. I know the franchise got criticized, LaFleur and the general manager for selecting him and not getting Aaron Rodgers a wide receiver, but Man, that's kind of the way they operate there. They had Favre, and they let Rodgers sit for a while. Then Rodgers came in, Favre left, and then Rodgers came in, and they did the same thing. Rodgers, like you mentioned earlier in the show, Love sat for a few years, and now he's. I don't know. What do you think of him? I like him a lot. I think he's
a quality quarterback.
Really good.
Yeah, I thought yesterday was the Micah Parsons game, right? He had 3 sacks.
Yep.
2 of them were, ending drives. The one ended basically ended the final drive of the game. They had another one because the Cardinals had a little bit of Vikings to them where they were moving the ball at will up and down the field. And then especially in the second half, they would stall once they got to the red zone. And a lot of that was Micah Parsons would make a play that gave them negative yardage and they couldn't overcome it. And Micah, in that game, there were moments where Arizona, they've got a good right tackle, and they thought, well, we're going to go one-on-one with Parsons, and it didn't work.
No.
You can't block him one-on-one, so you're always leaving a running back to chip, or you got to leave a tight end, and that limits. That's an instance where one defensive player makes his entire defense looks good because they all have easier responsibilities based on Micah taking another guy on.
Yeah, they did try to go one-on-one, and that, and apparently that lineman for the Cardinals is really good, but Parsons, like you said, it was the sacks all came on the most important plays.
Big plays.
Big plays.
Yep.
Big plays, turnovers aside. It was he's going to be. When do we play Green Bay?
I know we play them last game of the year.
Yeah,
we're at Lambeau November 23rd. So 5 games from now.
Okay.
Schedule's tough.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. It seems like it's tough for everybody. Pull up Detroit's schedule.
Well, not the New England Patriots schedule isn't tough.
Pull up Detroit's schedule.
Well, I mean, the Vikings and Lions have
That's
very comparable schedules.
Yeah,
yes.
Green Bay schedule, Chicago's schedule.
Well, yeah, the NFC North, yes.
I think a lot of teams have tough schedules.
I don't have a lot of hope for winning an NFC North title at this moment, and so when you're looking at wild card stuff. Yeah, the Lions got Tampa Bay tonight. Then they get a bye week. Host the Vikings at Washington, at Philadelphia. Host New York. Host Green Bay. Host Dallas. At the Rams. Host Pittsburgh. At the Vikings. And then at Chicago to end the season.
Tennessee, I'm going to tell you something you can use next time. But how was the Tennessee Fitzgerald on Thursday and Friday? How'd it go? How were the sales?
It was fine.
Yeah.
Lots of guests. Lots of lifeboats.
Lots of lifeboats. Did you play program?
We did not play Password Friday.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to make of the. I guess you and I are kind of in the minority with. I don't know. I still think the Vikings are very much in it in the NFC North. Very much.
Well, I mean, there's still time, yes.
That's what I mean.
Now, obviously, if you're beating your fellow NFC North teams, 2 weeks from now, that one at Detroit, that's going to be a big one. See if J.J. McCarthy is up to snuff at that point.
Detroit has no secondary. Green Bay's beatable. The Bears seem to be the best. Were they 0-2 at one point?
I think that's correct.
They've won 4 in a row. They're 4-2, right?
Yes.
That might be the best team in the division. Your guy, Ben Johnson.
Yeah, they lost. Given their 0-2 against the division, I'm not ready to go that far. Because you saw how badly the Lions destroyed them.
Yeah.
But they're 4 in a row versus Dallas, at Vegas, at Washington, then versus the Saints.
Maybe they're not that.
Saints and Raiders are subpar.
Yeah.
Commanders, even when Jaden Daniels has been healthy, now he's hurt again. He got hurt. They've just been a little weird. And Dallas is elite offensively, can't stop anyone defensively.
Yeah.
But better to win those games. And from a Bears standpoint, your concern has always been the offense. They've put up a minimum of 25 points in all 4 of those games.
Common, Wentz was picked up off the scrap heap days before the season started. How we ever got that far without a viable second-string quarterback? Having Darnold, Mullins, and Jones last season is poor coaching and management. Wentz had a lot of bad plays, but I can't see where this is all on him, Hopkins guy. And it's not all on Wentz. It isn't. And, it's certainly they could do better. I do think to this point, they pushed all their chips into the J.J. McCarthy corner. Sam Darnold had a year, and I do you think it was the money that they thought? My guess is it was more money than anything. I don't think they would have thought Darnold just had a flash in the pan season. That's what they thought with Case Keenum, if you'll remember. Case Keenum had the great year for us, got us in the NFC Championship game, blah, blah, blah. And then we decided not to go with Keenum the following year, went out and got Cousins. I don't think Zimmer was real happy with that. I don't think that he was like a fan of Keenum's or anything. I just think he didn't like spending all that money at the quarterback position. I think that's what really bothered him, if that's just my guess. But Darnold was spectacular last season. Now, I know he had the awful showing against Detroit. I don't think what happened against the Rams I think that was more the interior of the offensive line, and I think the Vikings admitted that by getting new players in the middle of the line. But we decided we didn't want to pay him that kind of money because we went and drafted McCarthy. I think Danny Jones would have stayed here if we would have said, we're going to give you an opportunity to win and maybe they didn't know what they had in him because he was in practice. He never took the field last year, did he, for the Vikings?
He wasn't even on the roster until the playoff game,
right.
And the reason they did that is so that they could they're going to get a good compensatory pick for him now because of how well he's playing.
Okay. And then Aaron Rodgers came for a visit, and I think they gave him the courtesy, visit, because
did he come for a visit? Or did they just chat with him?
Well, one or the other. I mean, he may have come for a visit. I don't
remember him coming for a visit.
Yeah, well, he may have. We just don't know. I mean, I don't think anybody's tracking his plane, but he certainly had a conversation with Rodgers, and it never came out. So they pushed all of their they placed all their eggs into that basket with McCarthy, and then they thought Sam Howell would be a competent backup quarterback. They watched Howell play and thought, well, this isn't going to work. And so that's when they went and got Wentz off the scrap heap. Wentz wasn't on a roster. They didn't trade for him. They signed him. And then we saw McCarthy have the great fourth quarter after three poor quarters against the Bears. He was awful against the Falcons. That's where Wentz has started ever since. And they say the high ankle sprain, and he hasn't been. And so, yeah, you could say that they've sort of mismanaged the quarterback position. But in their defense, when you do draft a guy, when you move up and draft 10th overall, he's kind of your guy. Though I was sort of surprised they didn't. I guess it must have been the $100 million they have to spend on Darnold. I don't know why they wouldn't have re-signed Darnold. I still don't understand that. And Darnold's been
I think
pretty
probably
good
it was because then you shut yourself out from J.J. McCarthy on that rookie contract.
Yeah.
Of whatever, if he can reach his potential on a rookie contract, now you can help out the rest of the team. My guess is, but to your point, like they clearly weren't all in on J.J. McCarthy, at least for 2025, because they did flirt with Daniel Jones. They did flirt with Aaron Rodgers. They made an offer to Sam Darnold, and Darnold just opted to go another route, and I don't blame him for that. There were even rumors like Kirk Cousins. There were rumors coming here. So the Vikings have shown while they committed to J.J. McCarthy, they also had some doubts, at least for this season. That doesn't mean they have long-term doubts for him. And I do think probably what kept them from Darnold is let's take a shot on a guy on a rookie contract because that's one of the best ways you could, other than having an elite quarterback, that's the best blueprint for trying to win a big game.
Yeah, that would be the blueprint. Regarding last year's preposterous statement tournament, is it possible Charger's statement wasn't so much preposterous, but just 1 year off?
Prophetic?
but it was preposterous.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter if it was
he won
1
the
year
MVP.
off. That would be like saying Brady's done.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Charles was right. 7 years later, Brady was done. But,
all these guys are going to be cooked at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you basically say they're not even the best quarterback on their roster, when you say a running back, because he mentioned the names of some running backs that nobody's ever heard of that he would have rather had, and then Saquon wins the NFC Offensive Player of the Year award, or NFL Offensive Player, whatever it was. Sorry.
The other running backs
PST.
you mentioned didn't do anything.
No, it's PST is what it is. We'll pause, come back, another hour to go here on the Common Man program on the Fan.